Well, I'm at one of those next steps on the wonderful body off. Because guess what? The body is off. Took it apart from the chassis. Came up with some straps. I've got my stiffener in here to hold my door casing on a rigid layout. The only other variable is going to come up with that when I put the shims in on the chassis mount. But now I've got this thing off the chassis. I've got some wheel well stripping to do. You can see it in there. The other side's actually done. I've used a couple different ways. I came up with these great buffing pads. I didn't come up with them. I saw them. They're like a 3M type of stripping pad. It allowed me to take this out. They do a real good stripping job around in here and here. And it was just the leftovers. Most of this actually flaked off. Just flaked off with my fingertips and a little scrape. And now I've got to get down and do much the same thing right into my trunk floor. This is actually good right in along here. A little bit of surface rust. I've really been lucky. The backsplash and everything is in good shape. But right up into the differential cover or whatever you call that, and right down into the wheel well area, or differential drive shaft area in there. I've got to get all of that old tar off and then do a treatment on that. Got some buffing to do up and along here because this is all new up here. That's all spot welded. This is all good. I've already done a couple patches. I did one right in here. That's good. I've got to get, you can see underneath the floor pans. Sorry, the floor pans are all in. The L brackets, the stiffeners, the inner rockers are all in on both sides. And I'm gonna, luckily I put a straps underneath and it just swings on the straps. If I put a little bit of strength into it, I can swivel this thing to about 45 degrees this way just by giving it a twist. It's a little bit off center right now, but this side's the same condition. Strip out this wheel well as I did the other side, and figure out how the frig to get this thing all finished up. I've got my final spots and everything done in here, so right in up into here. They're all finished up, just some buffing. And then some burnout priming. And finish up the front section. It's really getting, well, I got to show you what came out. This is the chassis I rolled out of it, rolled out from underneath it. And got the original differential short shafts, trailing arms, everything there. I'll actually save all that stuff. Obviously you can see, look at the mess down in here. The trailing arms, this thing is just not worth saving. Hardly. I've got rot right around the corner and the peak. I've got to take a real good look at it because I don't think this thing's got any salvageability at all. But I can still turn the steering wheel though. Even though the little mini universal joints have just long, you can see I've got no flex one way and a little bit of flex the other way. They're so seized up. That's just. But I'll save the steering rack, front, upper and lower A's. You can see the sag that comes about. I talked about earlier about using the rubber bushings. You can see the offset sag. There's your straight shaft coming out. And the rubber is just, it's offset probably about, well, the full diameter shield of the rubber, which is probably about 1/4 of an inch. Talk about give this thing a little bit of freaking caster. This side's the same way. But I'll save as much as I can off of this shell. And then just take the torch and cut the frame into pieces and maybe make about 18 bucks on scrap. But I will save the differential and the short shafts and everything, because those things are fixed. You can't really fuck them up. But she's feeling better now that she's shed her dusty past, I'm sure.